And what's going on, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature T. There we go. Scotty by Nature TV. And we are here for another episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. What is going on, you guys, on this beautiful hump day? Okay, I'm doing this live. I done got my eyebrows done, so they look a little bit different than how they looked on the Love and Hip Hop review. But yes, I done got them snatched up a little bit, and I'm doing this live in between doing laundry and getting myself prepared for my trip next week and all this other stuff. So I hope you guys have been having a good day and all this other stuff. We already had 50 some people in the chat already. But before we get into what we're here to discuss, because I know y'all been waiting on me, okay? Bundy did already came through and did her thug thizzle, and now here I go. Here I go now, okay? Here I go. Now, tonight is Roast and Review, and we will be over on my channel tonight. The link is already available. So if you have not set your reminders yet, go ahead and do so. Okay, go ahead and do so. It's already in the Roast and Review playlist. So make sure you guys go ahead and just set your reminders, because we intend on giving y'all a good show, because the episode actually was a little bit better than it was last week. So yes, indeed, honey. Yes, indeed, baby. So we are in the building. All right. So make sure you guys tune in tonight. And I'll be doing other videos. I have not forgotten about the story. Y'all, my reading of my novel, it's been like over a week since I gave y'all one, but I'm gonna film it tonight so you guys can have that. I'm gonna probably drop that tomorrow night. I'm probably gonna do more than one reading tonight, so I can have one drop tomorrow, one drop Saturday, and I know I got to do at least 2 or 3 for the week that I'm going. So yes, indeed, honey. The stories are not gonna stop. So yes, I can't wait for y'all to get to the real good part. Okay, the real good part is after the one I got to drop tomorrow. Okay, so yes, honey, we are in the building. I hope you guys are having a good one right about now. So I'm not gonna waste y'all time, because I know what we're here for. And we are here for the watch along and a recap of the Carlos King interview with Miss Nene Leakes. That's what we are here for. That's what we're here to discuss. We're here to give perspectives and all that good stuff. Now, I watched the interview yesterday. So this is going to be my second time looking at it, okay? I watched it yesterday in all this entirety. And my Twitter has been blowing up. Well, can we even call it Twitter anymore? My ex has been blowing up, and my everybody crawling into my mentions. I've been having a whole block party today because I'm sick of you motherfuckers in my damn mentions, okay? It's annoying. And some of y'all got blocked and unblocked so you wouldn't follow me no more, because it was annoying. Like, it was one person I did like that. She took a swipe at my panel and called us all biased and shit like that. And I just had to, like, girl, get the on up out of here. Like, just leave me alone. Like, you're annoying. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So I just got rid, because it's like, I know that when we post shit on Twitter or Facebook, you know, we're opening up ourselves to opinions and stuff like that. But it be the fact that I be putting my shit on my Twitter, and then all of a sudden these people swarm my mentions and want to go off on me like I give a damn about what they think. It'd be too funny. That's why I'm just blocking people today, because I'm already tired of talking about Nene already, and I already got to talk about her again up here. So I was just like, girl, y'all can have it, okay? Y'all can really have it. But anyway, so we're already 6 minutes in, and we're about to go ahead and get into this interview with Carlos and Nene, okay? We're about to go ahead and get into it, y'all. So let's get into it. Oh, wait a minute. Let me share the screen. I almost forgot about that. Let me share the screen. All right. Make it a little bit bigger. And there we are. So let's get into it.
Why did you feel the need to sue Bravo, NBC, and Andy Cohen?
First of all, I can't say that much about it because we are still, in our lawsuit. But I had a love and respect for them that I honestly don't think they ever had for me. Honestly. And to this day, I still respect them for what they do. They do it great. You cannot take that away from them. They're great at what they do.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I wasn't experienced enough to know that in a lot of these corporate places, they don't love you. I mean, you're here to work, and then they can throw you out the door anytime they feel like it. I love them, and I had personal relationships with them because when I started Bravo, they weren't there. They were big, but they weren't big like they are now. So my contact people were, I talked directly to, the president of the network, and directly to Andy, and directly to all the executive. I just talked to them directly, emailed them directly, called their phones directly. Today they have grown so big that people aren't talking to them directly. You're talking to someone else to get to them, and that kind of thing. All I ever wanted on this show was to be treated fairly. And a lot of girls and the people that work on the show and behind the scene know that there was things that just were not fair at all. And it pains me and hurts me deeply how I fought for some of the girls that are on the show, and how they did not fight for me to stay on the show, and how much I fought for them to stay on the show. That's
People kill me. People kill me. One thing that I don't like about people is when they have to remind you of what they did for you. But I'm annoyed because a lot of the times Nene be having points. But then the problem with her points is she drowns her points out by victimizing herself and making herself this damsel in distress, as if she's never done anything wrong. And there are parts of this interview where she's absolutely correct. There's parts of this interview where she is absolutely right. There are parts of the interview where I agree. But when she gets into this damsel in distress, and everybody's done stuff to me, and I ain't never did nothing to nobody, and I just been innocent, been playing in the field, picking out Easter eggs this entire time I've been on Bravo, all this other stuff, that irks me with Nene. And that's why I can't take her effing seriously. I can't take her seriously because it's like you always stir the pot, and then, or you say stuff, and then you always want to throw your hands up and be like, oh, that's just my opinion. That's typical Sagittarius. That's how they are. That's how they operate. They can say, be rude, do all types of bullshit, and then think that there's no reproach. That didn't think they're above reproach because it's your opinion. Well, you got an opinion, and guess what? I got a response and a rebuttal to your goddamn opinion. Stop using being rude under the guise of I just got an opinion. No, you were being an ass. You were being an ass. And the same way you help some of these girls is the same way you would sit your ass on Watch What Happens Live and say who needs to be fired and who don't need to be there. You said it about Cynthia. I think that Cynthia's okay. It's not like she's really bringing anything to the show. Portia and Phaedra, your homegirls, freaking fraud. Those are the ones I would get rid of right away, honey. They're declassing the show. That's what you said about them. But people seem to forget about that type of stuff. Like, we are so, when it comes to Nene, can't nobody call her out. Can't nobody call her out on her inconsistencies, because she's very inconsistent. And that's why I don't take her seriously a lot of the times. I fought for these girls. I fought for these girls. I fought for these girls. And you also fought to get them out the door too. You also campaigned to get them out the door too. Let's be for real. Let's keep it all the way funky. The same way you helped them, the same way you tried to help push their ass out the door. Well, you didn't want to put them no more. That's what you did. But okay, Nene. Let's continue.
It's very painful. And
who exactly?
The cast, period.
Okay.
Like, all of these girls know that there was unfair treatment, because we all have been in group text messages where all of these girls have texted and said that they were feeling unfair treatment. They didn't get fair treatment. There's no secret. I have the text messages. They have the text messages. We've all been in group text messages for a very long time since we've been on the show, right? So I know the complaints. There's been times when we have complained, and we all sat with the executives to talk about, things that we felt that were not fair. And I just felt like I wasn't getting fair treatment, and I feel like I should have been treated differently, and I should have been giving better fair treatment. That's it. And I want you to know that I have always, from day one, been very open to sitting down and having a conversation to figure out how to work anything out, how to move forward, how to just anything that we could do to just move forward. I've always been very open to that. I can't say that the other side has been that way, but I have always been open.
How convenient that you want to be open to the situation, but now you want to be open after you have filed a lawsuit, accused these folks of being racist, okay? Not to mention you accuse your boss of being a cokehead. And after you done all that publicly, now you want to say, I'm open to a conversation. Now you want to say, I'm open to moving forward. It ain't no moving forward. And see, that's the thing that people don't realize. You knew that you knew what you were doing when you did it. So what make you think that after the dust has settled, that means we can sit down and have a conversation and move forward? It ain't no moving forward when you're putting out certain accusations about people that could literally stain them and make people not want to with them. Take some accountability for your actions. Just say, I shouldn't have handled it that way. Out like if Nene would take some form of accountability for the way that she do stuff, maybe certain people will sympathize with her. The reason why I never really sympathize with Nene is because she shows her hand. She shows that she's fake as fuck, and she shows that she's a hypocrite and she's not consistent. I can't follow you when you're not being consistent. I can't be on your side if you don't mean what you say and stand firm on what the you say. I can't do that. She's always the first person to say, I tell it like it is. But then you tell it like it is and then you take it back. You the same one who be like, Kim is a racist. Kim gets this, she's that. But then at the same point in time, it's like, you say that she's all that, but then you willing to work with her. You say this about her, but then you be right back friends with her, taking photos and doing all of that. Or you cool with Kim, but you put her in your lawsuit. You know, you doing stuff like that. It's not consistent. That's why some people don't give a about what the you talking about. You could really have a case with us, with some of us that got some damn sense and not just riding a wave of Nene is the queen and everything that she says is right. Because my thing about this is, why would I want to have a conversation with anybody that I consider to be racist, anybody that didn't treat me right? Why would I want to have a conversation with you? And every time you speak on this, you claim that you all for the collective at hand, but it's, I should have been treated this way. I should have done this. I should have done that. It's all about me, me, I, me, I. It's all about you and I, and me. That's all it's about. So it's never, she's delusional. She really is. And I just feel like she doesn't take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault. Take some accountability. Say, I was wrong. And here's my thing. I'm not doubting at any given moment that there was unfair treatment, because I definitely believe that there was unfair treatment. Look at how Bravo treated the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills versus Atlanta. They put so much money into Beverly Hills. They put so much money into it. They always tried to prop their show to be their biggest one, but yet Atlanta was the one bringing in the money. But y'all couldn't even update their damn intro and taglines half the time. But Beverly Hills get a brand new intro, brand new photos, brand new taglines every damn season. But yet, Real Housewives of Atlanta would have the same damn intro, same damn tagline, same damn cast photo for 2 and 3 seasons straight. So I definitely believe that there was some unfair treatment somewhere. But at the same time, Nene is not consistent. Because if she was consistent, I would really be on her side. But she's not consistent. And I feel like a lot of the time she says things out of anger and out of jest, not because she really feels that way. My opinion. Let's continue.
Open. So I see a lot of people commenting and saying things like, why y'all can't work it out, or why can't y'all do this? I've always been open to working it out. I've always, people say, well, maybe Nene didn't want to do. That's not true. I've always been open to working it out. I've always been open to having a conversation. They have never wanted to have a conversation, or they've never wanted to move forward in any kind of way.
Is what led to it was that you were negotiating to come back season 13, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Maybe that. And allegedly you were offered a limited role to come back, a maximum of 6 episodes.
That's right.
Out of what we now know to be 20 something. And was that the start of you realizing that, okay, I'm not getting the treatment that I deserve as an OG, as the person who gives so much to the show, that you have these other girls who don't give y'all nothing, and they get 14 episode guarantee minimally. And here I am getting 6. Was that the moment you realized something had to be done?
No. I realized long time ago.
Okay.
And I think that I'm not sure if they realized that I realized that I wasn't getting fair treatment. I knew it long time ago. I had been watching it for so freaking long. And as time went on, my episodes, got less and less and less and less. It was like a phase out. You started out with 20 or 18, and you went to 16, and you went to 15, and you went to 12, then you went to 10, then you went to 8, then you went to 6. And I'm thinking, you guys are offering me 6 episodes. Like, no, this has nothing to do with I'm Nene Leakes and I started from the beginning. It was just like, why am I being offered 6 episodes? Like, explain that to me. And the only explanation that I could get was that you're unhappy. So in my mind, you gonna tell me I'm unhappy? How can you tell me that I'm unhappy? I'm not unhappy. What do you mean? I just get 6 episodes because you think that I'm unhappy? Why am I unhappy? I'm unhappy that I got 6 episodes. I mean, shouldn't I get more than 6 episodes? Like, why is it a phase out when there's other girls who are not the same complexion as me and started as an original housewife? Why are they being offered 18 episodes and I am being offered 6 episodes? What did I do? Because I don't know anything that I've done.
Why Nene acting like she wasn't difficult? Why Nene act like she didn't knock somebody's teeth out? Why Nene acting like she didn't storm off scenes or slam down her laptop and never come back to the reunion? Why she acting like she never just did nothing? Can somebody please tell me why? Why she acting like she was completely innocent? Why she not acting like she wasn't a menace her last few seasons? I'm just trying to understand it. Now, on the flip side, she did do all that. But at the same time, you would also think that a person like Teresa Giudice, that has been a person that pushed the whole executive producer down at the damn reunion, you would think that she would get cut too. Her episode count would get cut too. But they love them some Teresa Giudice and all that other stuff and let her get away with murder. But but the moment Nene knocked somebody's teeth out by mistake and all this other stuff, then it's kind of like, okay, she got to go, or whatever. You know what I mean? I get that. But Nene, don't act like you ain't did nothing either. Okay, stop acting like you ain't never did shit. Stop.
ever on this show that no other housewife in this franchise have not done. I've not done anything that no one else has done. There's been physical altercations on all of these shows, and I've not been involved in any physical altercation, right? There are so many times when people say things to me like, you pulled Kim wig. I said, you got it very mixed up. I never pulled Kim's wig. That was Sheree that pulled Kim's wig, okay? Be clear about who pulled it. I was standing there, right? And then people say, you got into a fight with Kim. Where is the fight? Did you see it? Where is it? Was it on camera? Where is the fight? You didn't see me in a fight anywhere, anytime, ever on this show, right? So you have girls on other franchises pulling each other's hair, busting glasses. You know, they say, well, you left the reunion. Well, what reunion have you seen that a housewife didn't get up and walk off the show or walk off a reunion? So I would like to know what it is that I did that someone else did not do. These girls have done way worse than I could ever have done. And then you go to, oh, well, you pushed the cameraman. Well, so he was in the way. Okay. Now what else is going on?
You know what I'm
So
saying?
Teresa
No
pushed
accountability.
Andy down at the reunion when he tried to stand up. So what else are you talking about? So there's nothing that I've ever done that no other housewife haven't done, if not worse. So I didn't I understood why I was being given less and less and less, but I wanted to understand from their side.
Mhm.
Why? What did I do? You can't tell me it's because, you know, you make too much money, you know, when you got these other girls who are making more money. You know, what is it that I was doing? I saw what it was, and I've been watching it for a very long time. And again, all I asked for was fair treatment. That's it.
Bethany Frankel is a very outspoken housewife.
Yes, I spoke to her recently as well.
Oh, what was that about?
Go ahead with
Oh.
your question.
Bethany Frankel
Mhm.
has been very outspoken
Yes.
about housewives
Mhm.
in a very negative light.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think she speaks out and says things, but I also think she teeters a little bit around. Like, I think she knows what to say and what not to say.
Well,
yeah.
What's interesting to me is because I do listen to her podcast, she talks about how much money the girls make. She talks
Mhm.
about how, you know, the Housewives show now is a bunch of women fighting. I won't go back. They have this book they asked me to be interviewed for, and I'm like, I'm not going to be a part of a book that talks about women this way. Like she speaks about it in a very negative light, but she also gets invited to watch What Happens Live.
Mhm.
Do you think that there's a different treatment between you and Bethany? At the end of the day, you both are outspoken women.
Yeah, there's a very big difference. First of all, you just said that she gets to get invited to watch What Happens Live. I am the only housewife that has been on Watch What Happens Live. I'm sorry. I've been on Watch What Happens Live more than any housewife. Certainly when he first launched the show. They used me and used me and used me to sit there over and over and over and over and over and over again to help launch Watch What Happens Live and make it a success, and the success that it is today, because I personally do not think that Watch What Happens Live would be successful without the Real Housewives franchise, period. I don't think that Andy would have any of his success without the Real Housewives franchises, period, because that is where
I do agree with that. I won't even hold you. I do agree with that.
he's known from. It's the Real Housewives franchise. And I also think that Bethany can speak and say things that I can't speak out and say. I could say some of the same things that Bethany is saying right now, and I would get criticized, or I would not be invited here or invited there. And
I agree with that too. It is, and I can tell you why. I can tell you why. I definitely agree with that. Now, I can definitely agree with that. And the reason why she can say whatever she want to say and you can't is because of this. You know that. I know that. The Scotty gang know that. All 289 folks in this chat know that. That's why. That's why. That's the reason. And it definitely don't make it right. It don't make it right at all. It absolutely don't make it right. Because if Bethany can come out and speak out against Bravo or speak out against the Housewives franchise itself, and for her to still be able to sit on Watch What Happens Live, that is a problem. But if you feel like that, Nene, if you really feel like that about Bethany, I wouldn't be trying to work with her on a damn thing. But you also have to think about this, just like somebody else said in the chat. She may have spoken out against housewives or said what she said, but did she ever accuse the boss of being a kid or being racist? Of course not, because they're not going to be racist to her. But you got to put those things into perspective as well. You went and attacked folks' characters online. That's the difference. But you still have a point. I ain't gonna take it all the way from you. You still got a point.
Certainly wouldn't be able to hang out with anybody in the Hamptons. I think she can say whatever she wants to say, and it's okay. I just am not in that position. I can't say whatever. And she will still work. And I think if we speak and say some of the same things that she said, we can no longer work. Opportunities are being taken away. You're not invited here. We don't like her. We don't want to work anything out with her. I don't get that same opportunity.
You made some allegations.
But again, I think that the problem is the accusations that you put out there about Andy, about, the people on behind the scenes. That's what this is. It's more so about the accusations that you put out against these people. That's the problem. That's really the issue here.
Allegations about Kim Zolciak.
First of all, where Kim Zolciak is concerned, I think all of the girls on the show all have felt some kind of way, including production, about Kim Zolciak. Now, that is not a secret. And I have the text messages to prove it. We have sat in meetings to discuss Kim Zolciak being able to do things that we're not able to do, i.e., take a trip together. None of us want to take those trips together because we know those trips are intense. And we know that you're going to be confronted and there's going to be some sort of confrontation. But for whatever reason, Kim never had to take any of those trips. We all had children. We had to leave our children behind. She never had to do that. She could skip the trips and stay home. And we would have to be the ones out and she still got her check. And we still had to be on that show.
Which was BS, because I never could understand how Kim can sit up here and not go on any of the trips, not do any of the work that everybody else got to do. But then you want to turn her, but then y'all want to pay her for it. No. If y'all gonna sit up here and y'all gonna make us go on these trips and she don't get to go, take it out her check. Give us that money that she ain't gonna get. Build our checks up if she ain't gonna do what she's supposed to do. Which is why I'm very confused as to why any of y'all want Kim Zolciak to be on this show. Why are some of y'all advocating and campaigning for Kim to come back on this show? Y'all talking about Kandi don't do shit, Kenya don't do shit. Kim ain't gonna do nothing either. So why do y'all want her on the show again? She's not gonna fraternize. She's not gonna engage. She's not gonna go on no trips. She's not gonna put in no work. So why do y'all want Kim on this show again? I don't give up about this pretend divorce that she's having with that husband of hers. I don't give up. She don't need to ever come back to the Housewives of Atlanta. And that's just being real.
On that trip, having confrontations, making sure this show was a success, and Kim would show up when she was ready to show up. And that is just the truth of the matter.
If Andy Cohen is watching right now, what is it that you would like to say to him?
Hi, I heard you had 2 babies now. Congratulations. You have a girl. That's amazing. I always knew you wanted to be a parent, Buttercup. I don't have any hard feelings. At one point, I'm a Sagittarius. So at some point, I may be mad with you, but then
Makes
I get
a lot
over
of sense.
it. I'm not the kind of girl that carries a grudge or hold the grudge forever. I'm also not an ass.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Nene need to stop lying. One thing this mother right here gonna do is blow smoke up her own ass and pretend like she don't do the things that she say she do. Now she want to sit up here and say that she don't hold grudges. Yes, you do. You do hold grudges. Because guess what? So do I. And I can tell y'all that So do I. There are some people that I would never in my life ever talk to ever the fuck again. God forgives, I don't half the time. So, girl, bye. Girl, bye. You know you hold grudges. This whole interview shows that you hold motherfucking grudges. Okay? So please stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, girl. You know you hold the grudges. Okay? Like I told you, there's some folks in this bitch that I would never fucking talk to again. Ever talk to again. I would never be making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with you motherfuckers again. Okay, so let's just be honest. And half the time it ain't really no grudge. I just don't want to fuck with your ass again. You knew what the fuck you were doing when you did what the fuck you did. When you was out here doing fraud, fake ass shit, you knew what the fuck you were doing when you was doing it. So fuck you. And the horse you fucking rode on and the life that you lead, you bitch. Okay? That's the type of time I be on. So Nene can stop fronting because she know damn well she holds a grudge. Like a dog with a bone, she holds it. And it's pretty evident in this damn interview. Like I tell y'all all the time, there's a lot of people that are buried in the cemeteries of my brain. You bring up somebody to me, you bring up somebody to me right now, and I'll be like, I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man. My answer for everything.
Ass kisser. Again, I'm a Sagittarius, so I don't generally kiss ass, and I will not kiss ass.
But you want people to kiss your big ass. But okay, Nene.
I would just say that I hate that we're in this place. I really wish it was a way for us to find our way back to each other because, you know, life is short and you just don't want to carry ill feelings for the rest of your life. You don't have to work together. You don't have to do anything, but it would be nice to either just work through the issues. There's been so many people with greater issues in friendships and they work through them. As I said to you earlier, Cynthia and I would never be best friends again, but we have talked and we've worked through whatever issues we have. So when we see each other, we can laugh, we can talk. And
you wish you whooped my ass, Mims. You wish. You wish. You wish. You wish.
We can sit at a table together. We can work together. I think it says a lot about a person when they can't just say, let's just move on. We'll work through that moment and let's just move on because I honestly don't have any ill feelings. What happened has happened.
Is the end result of this, I know you can't speak much on it, we'll move on, but is the end result of this lawsuit, would you like to go back on Atlanta Housewives?
I can't say that I personally would just like to go back on Atlanta Housewives. However, the fans have all asked for me, and the fans are the reason for the ratings. They're the reason for the show being as popular as it is. And if I had to go back, it will be 100% for the fans.
And for yourself, because this is what this is about. Stop using the fans for your BS. You want to go back on that show because you want to go back on that show. Just be real. Oh my God, I can't. I cannot. Just be real, Nene. You want to go back on the show because that was your bread and your motherfucking butter, girl. Just say that. Stop playing with me, girl. Nene is so full of it. When I tell you she full of it, I'll just go back for the fans. 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 Girl, you ain't going back for no fans. You're going back because you want to go back. And it's okay to say you want to go back. Why lie? Why make it up? Why make up? You know you want to go back because you want to go back. They're just like me saying I'm gonna go back here because the people over there want me back or the people over there miss me. I'm not going nowhere that I don't want to fucking go. And that's just period. I don't give a who miss me, who want me back. I ain't coming back. If I feel like the vibe is wrong and all this other shit, I'm not coming back. I ain't coming back. So she needs to stop lying. She needs to stop lying.
Okay. Not the check.
The check is not a bad check. Although I think my check should be bigger. The check is not a bad check.
Do you watch the show now?
I do not watch the show. However, I have watched a lot of the clips that come down social.
For you not to watch the show and just see clips, girl, you know so much about it.
Media. I don't even know how to turn my TV on. I think everybody that knows me, including Andy Cohen, knows this about me. I don't watch TV.
What do you think about the clips you've seen online?
I thought the clips online, well, they weren't, that entertaining. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of the girls that are on the show currently. And just meeting them in person, they weren't entertaining, or they were not like, I just don't see any stars on the show.
So we have Kenya, Kandi, Sheree, Sonya, Drew, and Marlo. Out of those 6 women, do you see any stars in them?
I do not.
Of course you don't.
How do you feel about Marlo getting a peach?
From what I've heard and from what I've seen, Marlo is the one that's bringing the most entertainment on the show. Now, we really have a problem. So if Marlo is the biggest entertainer on the show.
Carlos so damn messy. It just sickens me sometimes, child.
They have got to do something.
Why is that?
No, not that she's not entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shocking that this has been a person that was a friend to the show for many years. And now she is bringing the most entertainment. That says a lot about those girls who've been holding those peaches for years. They need to take away their peaches and let them become the friend then. Because if she's being the most entertaining person on the show, that's crazy. Some of those girls have been on the show. That they are paying some of the other people probably way more than they're paying Marlo, and Marlo is the most entertaining. Then they need to give Marlo some of these other people's check, and some of them need to, take a back seat.
Does Marlo deserve to have a peach?
I think so now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why. Because not too long ago, you were on Straight from the A, I want to say, and you was sitting up there and you was talking your being. The grand dame that you think you are, honey. And you was sitting up there and you was talking about why should Marlo get a peach? They can get her for the cheap. She could do what she got to do for cheaper, for a cheaper price. Why you think she deserves a peach now when you was just against it just 2 years ago? Okay, Carlos asked Nene these questions, so you cannot blame her for saying what she feels. Ain't nobody blaming her for nothing. I just think that she's full of shit, and she is, and I'm gonna call it out, no matter who asks her the questions. Sorry. Listen, I don't know if you new here, but if you are, let me let you know, I call everybody out. No matter if I like them or not, I call them all out. Kandi, she done got called out many times up here. Marlo, she stays getting drugged up here. Drew, I like her, but she been dragged. Sonya, I'm in between with her. She done got dragged. Kenya gets dragged. Everybody gets dragged. So I don't give a damn who asking Nene the questions. I'm going to call it out. And if I feel like what she feels is bullshit, I'm going to call it out. Like I said, I don't know if you knew here or not, but this is just me saying, you know what I'm saying? Girl, this is me just saying, girl, you foolish. Okay. So you not new. Okay. So you get it. All right. I'm just making sure that we all on the same playing field right now, because, I just be trying to make everybody know that, girl, listen, this ain't about no faves. We all got our own. We all got favorites and shit like that. But everybody's favorites, including my own, can get drugged. I'm just saying. I just had to let that be known. I had to let the true feeling be said. Okay? Let's continue. I need another Pepsi, honey. Let me go off camera.
A lot of people have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't get a friend of a peach. They feel like
that's why you don't do what?
People have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't give a friend of a peach. Okay. They feel like Marlo was best served as a friend of the show. Pop in, pop out, and goodbye. A lot of people can't stomach Marlo being full-time. They don't think she has the gravitas to hold the candle of what a peach holder brings to the show. And they feel like she was better served as a friend of. If you were still on the show, would you have wanted Marlo to be a peach holder posing alongside you in the main title?
I can understand what people are saying and what they mean, but I have a relationship with Marlo. So therefore, I'm happy to have a friend that I know to hold a peach, you know? But I understand what they mean. It's sort of like, now, why y'all gave her a peach? I get what they're saying. But I'm happy seeing Marlo in the role, though. I get it.
Do you think Kandi's overrated and overpaid?
I do.
Tell me why.
Carlos, at that point, this is when I knew Carlos knew exactly what the he was doing when he asked that question. I believe he asked that question because that's what he thinks.
I just don't think that, you know, me and Kandi, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Kandi and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that I never ever understood why she has so much animosity towards me and some of these other girls who are ripping her apart like she's back friends with Portia. Now, and I love Portia, but I would not be friends with Portia if I was Kandi. Of course.
Now. If I don't agree with nothing that this mother is saying, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Baby, if I don't agree with nothing else, I agree with that. Let me rewind it. I gotta rewind it. Now that I agree with. Let's rewind it.
To be a peach holder posing alongside you in the main title.
I can understand what people are saying and what they mean, but I have a relationship with Marlo. So therefore, I'm happy to have a friend that I know to hold a peach, you know? But I understand what they mean. It's sort of like, now, why y'all gave her a peach? I get what they're saying. But I'm happy seeing Marlo in the role, though. I get it.
Do you think Kandi's overrated and overpaid?
I do.
Tell me why.
I just don't think that, you know, me and Kandi, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Kandi and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that I never ever understood why she has so much animosity towards me and some of these other girls who are ripping her apart like she's back friends with Portia. Now, and I love Portia, but I would not be friends with Portia if I was Kandi, according to what Portia and Faye.
I would never be friends with Portia. I would never be friends with Portia. Now, let me dissect this point. First of all, she says that she doesn't understand why Kandi has had so much animosity for her. Nene, you want to act like you didn't shade this girl when she first came on the show, because you absolutely did. You called her ghetto when, girl, you came on the show giving Watermelon Andrea yourself when you first came on the show. But that's why we loved you. Let's keep it real. Number two, you did always feel you and Kandi are both alpha females. So y'all was never really gonna y'all was never gonna be friends. Let's make that clear. And that's another thing. Number two, you used to really act like you didn't like Kandi. I never felt like you liked Kandi, and I felt like, you know, we all felt like Kandi didn't like you. It was like a catty type of thing with y'all. Like, we never really knew where y'all really stood. And I really liked y'all when y'all became cool. But then let's not forget, you called her a house, then you called her a coon, and you said all this stuff about her in the public. So that's where the animosity comes from. And one thing about it is, she has always given you your props, and she has always said that she thinks that you are good for the show. She has always said that. She ain't never took nothing from you the same way you take stuff from her. So that's the difference between you and her. See, you get your ass on these interviews and you be ready to rip people to shreds every motherfucking time. That's what you do. But I ain't never seen Kandi do that to you. Now, I can say that. Now, when it comes down to Kandi being friends with Portia, I love Kandi. God knows I do. Y'all know I love me some Kandi, but she's a motherfucking fool to ever be friends with motherfucking Portia. Because one thing about it, and two things for certain, if you be riding with if you over there with Phaedra, you know already picked your side, because regardless of anything, I called her to the network to help you out, to keep your job. I put you in my play. I supported you. You know what I mean? I promoted your stuff. I was there for you with your divorce. I was always here for you, always supporting you, always looking out for you like a little sister. Then me and my friend Phaedra get into an issue. You decide that you want to put yourself in the middle of my issue with my friend, and you mosey on over there with her. And then you get with her and you pick a side, then you help perpetuate a lie. You help perpetuate a lie about me trying to RAPE somebody, and you spread it around the entire season, only for me to find out that you were listening to my so-called ex-best friend who told you. If I was Kandi, I wouldn't with now one of them, okay? She ain't got, look, like I said on Twitter, because that's the tweet that got everybody out up in my ass on Twitter. Kandi never has to forgive Phaedra, ever. But Portia should have never been forgiven. I don't care what nobody say. Portia is not some dumb, blonde teenage girl who don't know what's going on. If I was Kandi, and I agree with Nene, if I was Kandi, I would never be friends with her again. Sometimes it makes me sick to see them together sometimes. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't really think that they're friends like that. I even heard her say Shamia is one of the reasons why her and Portia are cordial these days, because they both have a close-knit relationship with Shamia. So they could be okay due to Shamia, but I don't think that they're close like they used to be, because at the end of the day, those allegations still follow Kandi to this day. People still accuse her of things like that. When the stuff came out about Tiny, that's the first thing people went to. So for me, I could never be in your space if you ever did something like that to me. And I've said that time and time again on this platform. So when it comes down to that, I definitely agree with Nene. Let's continue.
Phaedra did to her, then she should probably never be friends with her again. But she's found a way to bridge the gap, and now they're talking. So I get it. But it felt like to me, like Kandi held the biggest grudge against me. And all we had was petty little arguments and stuff. I think that Kandi is not exciting. I just don't think she's I don't think the camera loves her. I just don't think I think the camera loves her family. I don't think they love her. And so I don't think the viewers or anybody would ever see Kandi, as much as they want to make Kandi like the star, and she's been there for 100 years and she is her. I don't think not one person tunes in and believes that. I mean, everybody tune in and be like, okay, there's Kandi. Okay, now what's going on? Where's Kenya? Okay, where's next? I don't think that anybody tunes in and be like, oh my God, she's just bringing it and she's so everything. I think people look at it and they be like, okay, next. I don't think anybody is like that with it. I just don't. And I have to go a step further and say, I believe that production and the network wanted it to be that way. I think that they wanted girls on these shows who did not have the it factor. I said years ago that most of these girls have the I, but they do not have the T.
But let Nene tell it. She's the only one on the show that had the it factor. Let her tell it. And let's be honest here. People be saying I'm boring. People be saying I have the I and I'm missing the T, and that I ain't got no it factor and I'm this and I'm that. People have definitely said that about me and my platform and my channel in the videos that I put out. They definitely say that I bring nothing and that I'm boring and I put people to sleep and I'm the best thing to listen to when people go to sleep. Oh, I've heard it all. I heard it all. But the fact of the matter is, even with all that, I got 46K. I have 2 awards. I have an interview, have big interviews with Kandi, Miss Wanda, Latrice, all these different people. So regardless of what people say, my work speaks for itself. Like, it doesn't really matter. But that's her opinion. If that's how she feels, that's how she feels. Now, I will say that I perhaps got into the Real Housewives of Atlanta because of Kandi. I did. I was a fan of Kandi's before the interviews. Before I got an interview with Kandi, before I ever got a stamp of approval from Kandi or anything like that, before I even got in contact with her people, I've been a fan of Kandi. If you've been following me from the beginning, you would know that this has always been. I have always been Team Kandi. Always, okay? Always been Team Kandi. So I get it. But she was definitely the reason why I perhaps got into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because my mother was watching in season 1 and I had no clue as to what RHOA was. But when the second season came out or whatever, and I found out that Kandi from Escape was going to be on there, I damn sure tuned in because I am an Escape fan, like a big Escape fan. What? Wait a minute. Where my phone? I got my phone in my hand. Like a big Escape fan, like, period. Like, girl, where we at with it? Where we at? A big Escape fan. I got all 3 of their albums on this here phone. A big Escape fan. Could nobody tell me nothing about Escape? I love me some Escape. My favorite girl groups have always been TLC, SWV, and Escape. Big Escape fan. So that was the reason why I tuned in, because I wanted to see what Kandi was up to. You know, the last time I had heard from Kandi was when she was singing Don't Think I'm Not, and that had been years ago. Well, no, that wasn't the last time, because Kandi did a song with E40, trying to get to you and that booty, trying to get to you and that booty, trying to get to you. You know, she had a part in that song, so that was the last time I heard from her. So that's the reason why I really tuned into the show, because I wanted to see her again, because that was my favorite member, like all that stuff. So I've been a fan of Kandi long before any of this ever happened. So, but I think that when it come down to it, Kandi has her role on this show is supporting. And there's nothing wrong with being a supporting person on the show. Sometimes I'd rather be a supporting factor on a show. Like, I don't want to be the lead, to be honest. I don't even think I have like lead character energy. Like, if you look at some of my panels, I kind of play the back. I guess because I play like the production person. Like, I play the producer in the back. I let everybody have they shine. You know, like, even on Watch What Happened Live, on whether you like it or not, I don't feel like sometimes I don't feel like I'm the lead character persona up there. Like, you got people like T, or you got people like Yarel up there. You know, I feel like they have more lead character energy than I do. When you look at the Boys Night Out panel and you see me, Jamar, Josiah, T, and Maddie have more lead character energy than me. Or even if you look at the other panel that I got now, like the Chasing panel, you got T and you got Carl. They have lead character energy. So I understand that. But I don't think that she's so boring to the point where the camera don't love her. This whole season, that's all that's been. Kandi has been the main thing that's been talked about all season. Kandi. Every damn week she trending. She trending for different fucking reasons. Like, she's been trending. This is the most I've seen her trend in quite some time now. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, I guess that's her opinion. But at the same point in time, if Kandi has anything to say about what she just said about Kandi, she has every right to respond. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say on that. But I agree with what Nene said? I don't agree with what she said. I don't think she's boring. And I definitely don't think that she doesn't bring anything. She brings a lot to the show. She's actually one of those people that's really from Atlanta. She ain't no transplant like I'm about to be. She's a real AT alien. Okay, not to mention she has entertaining people around her. You know what I mean? She knows how to use the opportunity for what she needs to use it for. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't see nothing wrong with her. Like, we don't need a show full of Nene's and Marlos. You need somebody with a balance. And that's just what she brings to me.
Atlanta Housewives at one point in time was the #1 show on the network consecutively for more than 5 years, arguably. It no longer is. The #1 show on Bravo is Below Deck. The #1 Housewives show is the #1 show of Housewives is The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Atlanta Housewives, I think, has fallen to the #3 slot.
I think they wanted it that way.
You do? Why?
I just do. I just think that they did not want these girls to be the #1 show. I just do.
I agree with that too. I always felt like Bravo was pushing The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to be #1. I've always felt like that. No lies. I ain't gonna sit up here. Like I said, I'm not gonna even hold you. I always felt like Housewives of Atlanta got the short end of the stick, even though they were #1. Even though they were number one, they got the short end of the stick. They always push Beverly Hills to be bigger and better than Atlanta. No lies.
Just do. That's just a personal thing. I just feel like they just did not want these girls to continue to be number one. That's just my opinion.
Why has Atlanta Housewives slid from the number one spot? And people are saying that the show has now become unwatchable.
You're asking Nene Leakes why?
Do you like? Okay, listen. Do you want my opinion?
Sure.
Okay. I'll get red for this, and that's fine. Atlanta
I don't know why you would get red for having an opinion.
Oh, God forbid I have an opinion, honey. It goes on Shade Room and hey, Shade Room, hey, neighborhood talk. But it's fine. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Okay.
And this is me speaking as a producer on the show. I started out day one as an associate producer, bottom level. So I've seen things from a bird's eye view, like this is how it works. That show needs an anchor. That show needs somebody, which I'm saying to you is always you. That show needs somebody that can rally the troops. My all-time favorite trip of Atlanta Housewives history will always be Savannah. I love Savannah. You have fun. There was shade, and it was really sisterhood. And I'm not saying this because you're in my face. I said this behind your back. You were able to orchestrate the conversations, and I saw them look to you like, "What are we doing?" When you said, "Okay, let's pick room, let's go upstairs," they all looked at you like, "Nene is the anchor," and that's not shade. And that's why the problem to me now is there's no anchor.
You are by far the shadiest showrunner I've ever sat with, by far. And one of the great things about you, as I said earlier, is that you know all the girls. You knew what made us tick. You knew I'm going to call Nene in, and this is going to piss her off today. Or you knew to call Nene in, and Nene could call someone. You knew those things because you had a personal relationship with each and every one of us. And each and every one of us were able to call you when we needed something. And that's a great thing about you. So when the other showrunners come in, they don't know us. You know what I mean? They don't know our personalities.
Or try to get to know y'all.
Try to get to know us. You knew our children. You knew our husbands. And all those things made for a great show with you being able to know all of our relationships. And I will tell you what me and my glam talked about before coming out here. Like Destiny's Child. It could never be Destiny's Child without Beyonce. And I feel like I don't want to give myself that, but the truth is,
you already did.
Again, I shot the pilot. I did season 1. I'm an original housewife. I knew what the show needed. I gave the show everything it needed. And I think it's very difficult to grab that person and take them off of the show and really think that you're going to be able to put somebody else in that position. It just can never work. It just could never work. And I don't think it will ever work. Now, what I do feel like they might possibly could do, I'm not sure if it's going to work, is to tell everybody it's been real.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Agreed.
And start a whole new cast.
Yes, I agree with that.
Other than that, to keep trying and bringing these people back in and out, in and out, in and out, it's just not going to work. We already know what they did. You're going to bring them back. Yeah, she was fun. Why'd you take her off in the first place? Okay, you bring this one. Why did you take her off? Why is she back? You know, it's just like, what are you guys doing? And the friends of the show is who I'm confused by. I'm very confused by the friends. I am looking at the show like, who are the friends? And why are they here? That's what I keep looking at. Like, why did the friend get here? Why is she the friend? And why is she on the show? I'm confused.
Is it sad to see the house you built crash and burn?
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. I've said it so many times. This is a shame. And it's a shame that they don't get what it needs.
You know it's a shame by watching too many clips. Girl, you've been watching the season.
The real shame is they don't really understand what the show really needs. It's really simple to us. I mean, we're looking at the show like, this is really simple. Where is the fabulousness of the show? Where is the girl? I feel like you do too. I'm not if everybody's there just to get a check, but there's a lot of girls who are not working, who are not giving they all. Like Kenya, for instance. We know that Kenya can give.
Oh,
we
baby.
know that she can read.
Yes.
We know that she can come in and do a whole scene, but we're not seeing that. And I think that is because she's not interested because there's not interesting talent there for her to be interested in. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if she had somebody there,
she's bored.
Right, she's bored. If she had somebody there to read, and she can get read, and then she would be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, girl, you about to get read because you ain't finna take me there because I'm finna come for you. And so same thing with Kandi. You need somebody to grab her up and take her there because otherwise she's just chilling. You know, so she's just like, okay, I'm just getting this shape. But you bring some of these girls in who's going to really read you, girl, and not really care about you being here for 10 years, then you're going to do your job because we're about to gather you now. And so I think they just missed it. They just missed it. And they need other girls to come on the show. Now, I do hear that Marlo is reading Kandi a lot. I will have to go do my research, but I hear that she is reading Kandi for the gods.
I don't think Marlo is reading anybody for the gods. I think what Marlo is doing is creating unnecessary drama as she's always have. And if that constitutes reading somebody, then okay. Now, do I agree that there's a possibility that Kenya may be bored with the cast? She just might be. I do not love Courtney. I almost said that. I don't like Courtney. I don't even understand what the fuck she here for. She has no purpose. I like Moneta. I don't think that Moneta has really been able to show who she really is yet. I think she's still trying to find her way around, and she's only sticking with the side that she knows, and that's Kandi and Kenya, and now Drew. She's really friends with them, so that's what she's sticking with. But I don't think we really see much of her. And I think that if we got more into Moneta in her life, I think it would be good. Like, her husband is fucking hilarious. So I think that Moneta has something to give. I just don't think that she's allowed to give it. I think she has more to give than than Courtney. You feel what I'm saying? Sonya, as much as I read her down, I don't mind seeing her another season. I really feel like the only two people that really needs to get the fuck up out of here is Sheree and Marlo. They need to go. Give us somebody else that can sit in that spot. I don't need to see them ever again on my screen. And they are trying to make Sheree the anchor. They are trying to make her the anchor, and she's not good as an anchor. I think Sonya could actually stay. But I think that Moneta can stay too. But as of right now, if she don't bring us anything else, she could just stay a friend of the show. You know, that girl Akila, maybe she can come in and sit up in, you know, Sheree and Marlo's space. I don't mind Sonya staying. I honestly don't. Like, I think we can give her a third season. But other than that, I think that Sheree and Marlo need to go. Marlo is ridiculously stupid. She don't really, like, what is she really bringing? And on top of that, just like somebody said in the comments, is the show all about reads? Like, when y'all watch Boys Night Out, y'all see 5 queer men up there talking. Do y'all expect us to sit up there and be reading each other all damn day? Like, we're going to throw a little bit of shade at each other. We do that offline. Like, we throw a lot of shade at each other. But is that what y'all looking for? When y'all look at the Whether You Like It or Not panel, are y'all looking for us to argue and fight over opinions? Like, yeah, we like a little shade, we like a little read, we like a little drama, but I want to see a little bit more than just that. Give us a balance. And I feel like that's what this show has been regulated to, is, okay, I'm finna read her. I'm finna drag her. We finna drag. Like, it's all about reading and dragging, about who beefing with who. Like, we don't know what's going on in these folks' personal life. Even with Kandi, she wasn't around as much. But why y'all didn't film her while she was getting her award at the Soul Train Awards? Y'all was still filming the show then. Why y'all didn't show that? You know what I mean? Why y'all didn't go when she was doing other things outside of that? Like, why not just document all the things that she's doing outside of this show? I would have loved to see that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do y'all agree? I don't know. Let's continue.
Not the God's Lord.
Honey, yeah, so I called the boss, honey. Say, Candy's getting red, honey. Yeah, Candy, come through, Candy now. Now I know Candy can scream back, honey. So come on. So she's doing her job. So it seems like Marlo is doing her job.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And who else is working on the show now?
Sheree's there.
And what is she doing?
She started off dating Martell.
Oh, right. And she's no longer with him. I gotta cross my leg. I'm sorry. And she's no longer with him.
And I felt like there were moments of her becoming an anchor.
Oh, they were trying to get her to become an anchor. I could see that. Maybe that's because she's an original, but I don't think she has it in her to rally the girls and give them that voice and be that person. I just don't see it.
Let's talk about your friendship, your celebrity friendships. You and Wendy Williams had a great friendship at one point in time.
Yes.
She is now going through something very troubling.
Yes.
And it doesn't look good for her, unfortunately, and we're all praying for Wendy. But going back to y'all great friendship, at one point in time it ended. I'm gonna be very honest with you. When Wendy's talk show was on, bitch,
I know what you're gonna say.
It was appointment television. I love Wendy and I still love Wendy. But you're my girl. Mm-hmm. And people know we ride for each other.
Yes.
I did not like when she referred to you as the girl over there. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like it because I felt like, and this is no shade to Wendy, I felt like at some point in everyone's life, we're that girl boy over there. Mm-hmm. We all are that at one point. Wendy was that doing radio. Yeah. And then through the grace of God and his blessing, you have a daytime syndicated talk show, which is huge. Mm-hmm. You're not somebody that you're the biggest reality star in the world. Mm-hmm. So to refer to you as the girl over
Carlos, there, stop, Carlos, stop. Clean your nose. I see some brown shit on it. Stop, Carlos, stop. Because we're not going to sit up here and act like Nene don't do that. What Nene got done to her, like Nene got... Wendy pulled the Nene on Nene. That's what happened, and Nene can't take.
Like she was better than you. I didn't like that. And you two were still friends. When she would say that about you, would you call her and be like, "No, bitch, what's really going on?"
I would be very confused. There's many times when I've called Wendy, but also you have to know that I'm one of her friends that were kind of on the inside. So I saw a lot of things and I would take it with a grain of salt where other people would take it personal, right? So Wendy saying that, I knew then that, something's going on with Wendy at this moment, because that's, she wouldn't say that in the other case. So my friendship with Wendy, I would have to say this was off and on a lot. I would have to say that I really liked her a lot. And when she was fun, she was really fun. I enjoyed going to New York, being with Wendy, going out and having drinks with her, going to her beautiful place that she has. We would go out to dinner and drinks. I saw her switch on me like right in the same day, change. And I don't know what happened, but change and be something else or do something else. But honestly, I really liked her. And every time it would be like we're having a great time. And then suddenly I would turn on the TV and she would be saying something about me. And I'd be like, we were just having a damn good ass time. Like, how do we get here now? Like, why is she saying that about me? I would try to think to myself that it was because she was doing TV and she was just making a great show. But I would always even say to her that, Wendy, you have to have at least like 2 friends that you're going to be friends with, and you're not going to be going in on them like 2. Like, you can talk about everybody else, but these 2 friends right here, like, I'm going to say them. But it would never be me. I honestly felt like Wendy was in a place where she didn't care about any of her friends anymore. And she would just say whatever she had to say. I hated that because I really liked her as a...
But you do that. Am I crazy? You do that. You do it all the time. What the? You do that. You do that. You hate that, but you do that to other people. What? This lady here. When I tell you I can't take her sometimes, she really be killing. It's the gaslighting for me. I do not like a gaslighting mother. I swear I don't.
As a person, no matter what was going on her show, no matter what was going on in her personal life, I just liked her as a person.
When was the last time you spoke to her?
It's been a while. I would have to say the last call she made it to me, and she was trying to, I feel like trying to resolve whatever, like, hey, how are you? I'm sorry, like trying to apologize.
Was he off the talk show at that point?
I want to say, I think so.
Okay.
And not off the talk show. They had not said her show was gone.
Okay.
It was a moment when people were like hosting.
So, substituting her seat. Yeah.
And we just, at that moment, I didn't even want to hear it. So,
is it true that you had a talk show with Tom Arnold, a deal for you and Tom Arnold to have a talk show, kind of like, Kelly and Ryan, that was going to be produced by the same production company who produced the Wendy Williams show, and that when you two got into it and you made a statement that you're mad that I'm coming for you, that she gave the production company ultimatum, and ultimately they decided to not pursue the talk show with you and Tom Arnold?
I had a deal with Detmar Mercury, and which is the same company that produces the Wendy Williams show. And I'm not sure if they had locked in my co-host at the time, but we did have talks with Tom Arnold and others. I don't know if he had a deal with them as of yet, but I had a deal in the works with them. And she and I got into our thing. I think I had a Birkin bag, and Kim Kardashian had one, and we had put graffiti on it. And she said that, like, she can't afford to do that, but Kim them could afford to do it. And I was like, listen, Wendell, and when I said that, we kind of went back and forth, and both of us was at this women empowerment thing, and just anyway, just went super left. All I know is we went back and forth, and they pulled my deal.
How did you find out they pulled the deal?
Through my attorney. The deal wasn't going any further, and I was like, wow. And I said something in the press and everything, whatever they said, I said, because we can Google it. Whatever it is that I was supposedly said, I didn't say it. But at the end of the day, Detmar Mercury pulled my deal, and I no longer had a deal to do a talk show. And was probably the last deal. Well, I've had a couple people to come to me about.
I will say this: with Nene's personality, I could definitely see her with a talk show. I don't know what kind of talk show she would have had. Like, I don't know if she would have had some Ricky Lake type shit. Could you see her having a Ricky Lake type show? Or like a Jenny Jones type of show? Or like a Mari type of show? Like, would she be reading like the DNA test and shit like that? Could y'all see her doing it? Because I love me some Karamo with his fine self, but I don't see her doing no show like that. But I definitely could see her do like something. I don't know what kind of talk show it would be, but I could see Nene with a talk show. I definitely could have seen that. Definitely.
Me about doing a talk show, but I've never been able to do a talk show since.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know. Like, I was put on the list of can't do a talk show.
Do you think you're blackballed?
I was. I was very much so. I have been able to work, a little now, but for a long time, yes.
Mm.
And definitely in certain areas like podcasting, no. Talk show, no. That's always been a no for me. Like no matter I've wanted to do a podcast or wanted to do a talk show, it's always been a no. It's always been a no. And I've had many people to come to me with offers, and then they just
She could have also she could have done a podcast. I could see her doing it.
So you would get presented offers for talk show and podcast, and you engage with them, and then all of a sudden it goes away.
And all of a sudden it goes away.
Like a phone call was made or something.
Yes. We could be in a full-on negotiation and suddenly it just goes dead. That has happened many times.
Does that make you sad though?
It makes me very sad because the one thing I always say is I'm a black girl with blonde hair. Now I can't be you and you can't be me, right? So what I bring to the table, you're not actually bringing to the table, right? And I also think there's enough money out here for everybody and for all of us to eat. And who even says that my podcast or my talk show will even be successful? Like, give me the opportunity, let me have the chance to be able to do it. So I was in many talks to do many things and they would just die. And that's not by chance. That's not by chance.
What is it that you would like to do now? Like what is on Nene's vision board that if someone's listening who's able to grant you the opportunity of your dreams, what is it that you would want right now in this place in your life?
I love talk. So obviously talk is probably in the forefront. I love to talk and I love to act. So podcasting, talk shows, TV series, all those things. I love everything entertainment though, honestly. Probably one's no greater than the other. I love any and everything entertainment.
Do you think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely. If not bigger, right there with her. I feel like they pushed Kim and they didn't push me. Kim came on after me and they opened up every door and every opportunity for her, even putting us together at times and making her, much more bigger than me. She had North, obviously I was at North baby shower with her and Kanye, but they pushed Kim to the front and pushed me to the back. And I don't think that was by chance. I think that was the way they wanted it to be. We were together because I was Nene and I came out before her and it just kind of looked good for us to be together. That's how I feel. Chris had a talk show. I co-host with Chris on the talk show. I just think that they made her more successful. And she was able to get opportunities and open walk through doors that they just did not want me to walk through. She did Shoe Dazzle. I did Shoe Dazzle around the same time. And they just pushed her stuff forward and they were always giving opportunities. And one other thing is that whenever we had businesses, it felt like we couldn't really show them that much on our show, but on their show, all they do is talk about their businesses, and all they do is talk about lunch and their makeup lines or their clothing lines or their whatever they're doing. And I don't feel like we were able to do that as much. So I just wasn't given the opportunities that she was giving.
I want to play a game with you because
I don't play games.
You were famous for saying some people are stars and starless. So I'm gonna say some names, and I want you to tell me if they're stars or starless. Giselle Bryant,
starless.
Robin Dixon,
starless.
Wait a minute. Wait. Listen, I don't like Giselle. Let's make that clear. I don't like Giselle. I think her being starless is debatable. Right? Robin, not so much. Giselle is debatable. I don't like her, but it's debatable. I think Karen is probably more so the star of Potomac. Let me ask y'all, who's the star of Potomac? I'll probably give you two names. Karen Giselle. I even throw a third name. Or Candace. Who would y'all say? Because someone says holding a torch. Okay, instead of saying star, who holds the torch for Potomac? Karen, Giselle, or Candace? Who holds the torch? Let's be real, too. Let's be honest here. Let's not just say somebody's name just because we like them. Let's be real. I see a lot of Karens in here. Okay, everybody says Karen. Okay. The majority, however, says Karen, with Candace being second place. The majority is saying Karen. All right, let's continue, y'all.
Kenya Moore.
In between. Star his. I don't know. I think honestly, can I talk about Kenya a few minutes? I feel like there was a moment when Kenya could have been this big star because she was to the Black community, because she was Miss USA and she was this beautiful Black Barbie that had won that pageant. And I feel like coming on Housewives changed how people saw her and viewed her. I think showing her mean side or whatever side that was aggressive or in your face side, I think the people that enjoyed watching pageants enjoyed her as Miss USA. When they saw her in that role, they were kind of like shocked, like, oh my God, she's like a villain, because she was a villain. And I think it changed how people felt about her, because people really put her on a pedestal and looked at her one way. And then once she stepped onto Housewives, I think they saw her another way. So I do think there was a moment where Kenya was a star. And I think I would have to say that reality didn't help her star. That may be a better way to say it.
What about Portia?
I think Portia has star potential. And I think with the right people around her, I think there is potential.
Phaedra.
I don't see Phaedra as a star, not as a TV star or anything like that. I always view Phaedra, as more corporate or entrepreneur-like. I don't see her like TV star. I see her like entrepreneur star.
Kandi.
I don't see Kandi as, and so I can't even pretend today, I've never seen Kandi as a star. I have seen Kandi as a supporting star, but not as the star, but as a supporting star.
Claudia Jordan.
Starless.
Who won between you and Claudia in Puerto Rico?
I'm always the winner, and so I obviously won. But I will give Claudia this, although she said the most nastiest things about me, and she's been holding on to a grudge for 100,000 years. I'm going to give her this. I've read many of girls, honey, and I've been on this show with many girls. I would have to say that she was probably my number one battle. She was definitely right up there to battle with. Yeah, I don't think that there's not been one other girl that could probably battle the way she did, because I took her through it, and I feel like she took me through it. And so I feel like we gave each other a run, and not many girls can give me a run. So I will give her. I feel like she definitely stood up.
And I want people to know this too. You told me and Joy after that scene between you and Claudia, because Demetria was being positioned as a peach holder, and you told me and Joy, y'all picked the wrong bitch.
That's right.
And Claudia, I want people to know that, because you're not this hater. No. You always did what was best for the show.
I did.
You said that bitch Claudia. She's good. Y'all need to give her a peach.
Y'all done got rid of Portia. You need to give Claudia the motherfucking peach, because Claudia was really going toe to toe with me, and I will give her that every single time. Although she wants to feel like I ripped her toes apart and pulled her Hello Kitty out, honey. At the end of the day, girl, you stood up, honey. I will give you that much, girl. You stood up, honey, because the reeds were coming. I was pulling them out from under my wig. I am not lying. And that's because she was giving me a run.
We were the producer in the back like this. Yo, what the fuck is happening?
Was giving.
I really believe that Claudia kind of won it. Like it was very effortlessly.
Me a run, and I was like, girl, I'm gonna have to win now. And so I was going hard, but she was hard too. So she wasn't easy. She wasn't easy. She did her part. She earned her peach.
So not Kenya, not Sheree, not Kim, Claudia Jordan.
Claudia earned her peach. Kim can't read me, child. You know better. But they can all try. But I must say that Claudia definitely stood up. She stood up. She wasn't afraid.
When it's all said and done, Nene, what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh God, I don't know what I want my legacy to be. What I do know is that I want people to know that my heart is bigger than this entire room. I am a lovable person. There's no hate ever in my heart. Ever when you see me, there's no hate, and I have no ill feelings towards anybody that I've ever worked with. Honestly, I tell it like it is. It is what it is, and over time you get over it. I just want people to know that I'm a good person, and I always on this platform fought for women, and I don't feel like people fought for me, but I definitely fought for the women I thought that should be in position. Yes, Claudia, I fought for you, girl.
You did.
You got that peach, honey. Yes. Now you can keep talking about me as all you want to. Okay. I fought for a lot of people. Yes, Portia, I fought for you. You're on here. Cynthia, hello. Thank you.
It's funny how you say Cynthia and Portia. Cynthia, hello. These the same two people you said you didn't want on the show. Girl.
So I did. I don't feel like it was all returned, but that's okay, because you don't do things for things to be returned. They will all come back in due time. Now, this is the moment where, yes, microphone, I'm here for this is the moment where I have to turn.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Yes, honey, cross your legs and do not edit it out.
No, we're gonna keep this. Let's go.
Okay, so you worked behind the scenes when I was on the show for so many seasons. Do you feel that I was always giving fair treatment?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like because the show was new and all of us were very new to this, I felt like we were all underestimated. 1,000%. I know that my passion and me being so maniacal in terms of making the show great was because we were Black people. And I know that as Black people, we're always underestimated and we don't get our just due. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Right.
And I know that when it came to this show, you girls worked your asses off and deserved to be number one.
Yeah.
And I felt like when it came to you, look, I think what happens is there's no instruction manual of what it's like to handle fame. Yeah. And to be known within this local city and then to be an international success. And I think people just did not know what to do with you. They just didn't know. It was like, wait, what? What's going on here? Like, wait, what? And I do feel like you may be...
Carlos, answer the question, honey. Did she get unfair treatment or not? Because you dancing around this motherfucker like you doing the Tamia can't get enough dance. Did she get treated unfairly or not?
The most underrepresented reality star in the world. You are. I think you deserve a walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think you should have talk shows and podcast deals, and you should be on Netflix scripted shows. I see some reality stars who have opportunities that I think like, oh, Nene should have had that years ago. I know that you have paved the way for Black reality stars, the females. I know that there's females that you're not talking about in reality TV, who shall remain nameless, who have looked you dead in the eye and said, what do I do? Like, they look up to you. You paved the way. Tammy Roman says that. Tiffany Pollard even says that. You literally are the queen. And I do feel like when it comes to where things are now, it does sadden me. I just don't understand why you aren't on network television, reading the girls for Phil, having a good time. And I do agree with you. I think if not bigger, you should be on the same level as Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Excuse me while I get the tear out the side of my
eye. Don't cry, bitch. But no, I think, listen, I'm happy we're doing this because, listen, we all make mistakes. And I think we all can look back on our time and say, I should have done that differently. I could have handled that better. My hope for you and the people involved in this situation, from Andy to Bravo to the companies, I just want you guys to have a conversation. I think if people were in a room without the lawyers and people in your ear, I know for a fact that a 3-hour lunch can eradicate all of this. And it's sad, I'm not gonna cry, it saddens me deeply that I have to sit back and watch a woman who paved the way even for me to be able to sit in this room across from you. And it makes me sad because it's not okay. And I do feel like I feel like when it comes to you, you've done so much for this industry. And I feel like you've done so much for this genre. And I feel like you've done so much for everybody. And I hate that people can't make mistakes, say dumb shit, and not say, okay, bitch, let's figure it out. You and I have falling out. Like me and you went toe to toe. And we got back together because it wasn't that deep. And what you're going through to me just isn't that fucking deep. Get the fuck over it. Sit down, have the conversation. It's stupid as fuck. I think it's dumb. I really do believe if everybody was in the room for 3 hours and just talked it out, yell at each other, bitch, you did that. And at the end say, okay, well, we got it out. Let's move on. It pains me. It pains me because it doesn't have to be this way. And I feel like ego gets in the way. But with you, I really want you to know that you deserve so much more than what this world is giving you. And I feel horrible that you are going through what you're going through. Anyways, continue.
Drop it.
Oh my God. So I know you've been watching Real Housewives, the new seasons. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I know you're watching the new seasons of Housewives. So what do you think that Real Housewives of Atlanta need?
Somebody literally just put this in the comments. And I'm going to say this. It's funny how Carlos is sitting here saying that there's conversations that should be had and people need to get over stuff and all this other stuff, right? But you sitting up here with a public issue with Kandi Burruss. I don't see you trying to make things right with that. But what you do is you go on your podcast and you be passive aggressive. Now that's what you do. But you haven't addressed that. You talking about you waiting on the phone call. If you really care to fix the issue, then you could do that. So I hate it when people sit up and talk about how short life is and how stupid certain shit is when they ain't made amends or fixed any situation that we all know about just yet. Like, until you fix your own situations with certain people, you can't sit up here and talk about what's dumb and what's not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Fix your own stuff. Fix your own light bulb before you come for somebody else's. I'm just saying, like, no, like but that's another thing that I cannot stay. This is gonna be the part of the interview that really triggers me, and I'm gonna tell you why it triggers me. I hate it when people try to force conversations that you really don't want to have with certain people, especially when you're over the situation. When I'm over something, I'm not having no conversation about it no more. It's done. The issue is dead to me, and so are you. I'm not having no conversation about it. Stop asking me to have a conversation about it. Stop telling me life is too short. Life is too short when they did what they did. Okay? I can sleep really good at night, not giving a about them and what they got going on. I'm just being honest. Let's continue.
A clean slate. I think, look, and I was gotta be honest. I think the reason why
So Sweet 16 is coming.
What's that?
Season 16.
Oh, Sweet 16. Oh, that's so funny. No, listen, I think no one is showing up to work.
That's true.
No one's showing up to work. I remember coming to your boutique and you were, I think this was season 10 or 11. And you said, bitch, they don't know what to do without you. She said, these girls walk around like, what do we do? Carla's ain't here, bitch. What are we doing?
Because you put a battery in their back. You do. You had told Kenya everything to say. You like, now go.
Oh, no,
yes,
no,
you put a battery in
and you always thought Kenya was my favorite.
Yes. Now, who's your favorite, though?
I love all y'all equally.
No, that's a lie. Who's your favorite, honey? Kenya's always been your favorite.
You said Sheree was at one point.
And like Sheree, too.
I love, I'll be honest. I have a very, listen, you and I have this chemistry that's undeniable, and we have this love, and people just, it's infectious.
Yeah, but besides that, honey,
no, listen.
keep it 1,000. You love talking to Sheree.
I love
you would
Sheree.
sneak around and love Marlo on the side, too.
I do love, no, that's the thing. I do. I love the girls.
You do. You would sneak around.
I love the girls.
You know what? I feel like you're like Janet Jackson. She would say that her relationships with her siblings would change. Like, okay, Michael would be her favorite for a little while. And then she would switch to Latoya would be her favorite. And then she said that's how it was because she's in a big family. So I feel like you would switch. Like, right now, Nene's my favorite. And then later on, you'd be like, you know what? Sheree's my favorite.
Okay.
She's my favorite.
I receive that. That's
you
the
switch.
answer. I would switch. Yeah. It would depend on the season. It would depend on the season. There you go.
Okay, besides me, who on Housewives or who's been on Housewives that you feel is a star? Okay, there aren't any.
No, I do. No. Listen, if I had to choose one, I think Kenya is a star.
Okay. I would give you that because, as I said, I feel like there was a moment when I feel like Kenya was a star, and then I feel like reality TV made people be like, I don't know if I like her.
Yeah. So I would say Kenya.
So, and she's your favorite. And so I knew you would say that.
Whatever. I don't have any favorites this season.
For the men, because that's another thing I would say. And would you agree that when we were on, the men played a very big
100%
part of the show, and I don't feel like we hear about the men anymore as much. And then we did a couple strips. Remember, we did a couple strips and stuff like that. And so, who's your favorite couple? Who has your favorite couple been?
Oh, and listen, I will go on the record. Nene and Greg. No one will ever top Nene and Greg. I will call him Dad.
Do you think the men should be more involved?
Yes, absolutely.
The
problem is these women don't want to pay the men 15% of their check anymore.
I never gave my husband 15%.
No, that was different. No, that's what Peter and Cynthia talked about.
Yeah.
I just listen. There's a certain level of producing and understanding that show needs. It's the DNA. I do say, like Destiny's Child, there's a certain level of camaraderie and people that you need. And I feel like everyone's bored. I feel like no one knows what they're doing. I feel like people are there for the wrong reasons. And it's always about the intention. And the intention of everyone involved is not at its highest at all.
Okay.
No.
So if you had to pick a cast for season Sweet 16, who would it be?
Okay, and you have the answer too.
Oh, why?
Because you do. And this is my real answer. Nene.
I literally have, but next question, Mika.
Sheree, Kenya, Portia, Phaedra, and Kandi.
I don't see Phaedra being.
That's my dream. I feel like we were robbed of getting a Kandi and Phaedra conversation.
I do too. Now, I've always said that.
I feel like
I thought that was very
and I'm gonna
unfair
say
to
it,
the
and I'm gonna
viewers,
say
too.
it. I'm gonna send this hill.
Me too.
Vanderpump Rules. Those white kids said we're dealing with something devastating and crazy, and we're all gonna show up and work, and we all get to show our story. And now this show is nominated for an Emmy. I feel like, listen, I'm not here to judge what people did. It doesn't involve me. It's whatever.
Right.
God is the only person who judges us. As a producer, I feel like at the end of the day, to your point, if she can forgive Portia, why can't? And we got a chance to see that.
That's right.
We should have saw that with Phaedra, and because we did not see Phaedra and Kandi deal with the aftermath, it ruined the show.
And it's been years.
Here's my thing with this, and see, Elizabeth, baby, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can easily, there's a door that you can walk right on up out of, honey, and I can lock it so you won't never come back again, okay? Like, if you don't like what's being said up here, you can go. You ain't got to sit here and listen to me. You know, I give everybody the option. Like, if you don't like what I'm doing right now, then you can just wait for another video or don't watch it all. However, when it comes down to this, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, and I'm going to be frank with y'all. Honestly, I'm finna be real with y'all. I get what everybody is trying to say. When it comes down to the Kandi and Phaedra situation, I know that the fans wanted to see the aftermath of that. Oh, I don't want to do Nene like that. Wait a minute.
Years. They could have.
Okay, that's better. They wanted to see the aftermath of what happened. But at the end of the day, y'all, I don't give a who wanted to see it. I'm never gonna see it on. And this is just me. My opinion ain't the law. It's not in the Bible. It ain't none of that. But just listen and hear me good. I, as Scotty by Nature TV, would never ever sit at a table and or a bench or by a pond, by a river, standing on a bridge. None of that. I would never stand there and talk to anyone that would accuse me of the things that Phaedra accused me of. I would never sit there and do that because you knew that it was foul when you did it, and you didn't take accountability when you got exposed for it, and you didn't even apologize, and you weren't genuine with, you didn't show any sympathy. You were stoic as, and you meant exactly what the you did. So therefore, I would never sit down and have a conversation with nobody that would do something like that. And on top of that, when it came down to Portia, people are so quick to say, well, she forgave Portia. Let's be honest here. It took her 2 seasons to forgive Portia. And when she wasn't talking to Portia, some of y'all were the main ones saying, oh, she need to get the fuck over it. She need to get over it. It happened. It happened a long time ago. She done made a dungeon. She need to get over it. Y'all told her to get over it. And then when she gets over it, you still mad. Which one is it? Now that she done got over it, it's like, well, she could forgive Portia, so she could forgive Phaedra. Ain't nobody obligated to forgive nobody, and don't nobody owe nobody no forgiveness. Let's be 100 here. And I'm speaking from the pit of my stomach, my soul, and all the things that I've gone through and seen over the last few months. I don't owe nobody no forgiveness if I don't want to give it to them. People know exactly what they be doing. People know exactly what they be doing, why they do it. And some people do stuff just so they can hurt you and just make you look like the bad guy. Some people assume things and they take things and make it to what it's not supposed to be. Or some people do just stab you in the back just because they got a knife in their hand. People know exactly what they're doing when they're doing it. So why do I got to sit up here and engage in a conversation and make things right with you when you were the one who did it? Because guess what? After I'm done talking to you, we still ain't going to speak. After I'm done talking to you, it's never going to be the same. I would never look at you any differently. I'm going to always look at you with the motherfucking side eye every time. It's really no need to have no conversation. It's some things that are never going to, there's some things that will never be mended. There are some things that are not meant to be mended. There are some things that just need to stay buried. And that situation with Phaedra, that is not a forgivable thing. Everybody wants her to get over it and forgive it because they want this woman back on TV. And I get it. Phaedra is your favorite. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, and this ain't even got nothing to do with me liking Kandi. This is the truth. This is just how I look at stuff. Like, you screw me over in the worst way. It's levels to my forgiveness. I always say this a lot. It's levels to it. If we had a petty ass argument, you said this, I said that, okay, cool. We can get past that. But when you do some stuff that's below the belt, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and then you put me in positions and stuff like that I don't want to be in, and put me in a line of fire. Oh, I don't want to deal with you because I'm not finna with nobody that really don't with me like that. It's just that it's some people right now that I'm not speaking to, and I probably would never speak to them again. And it's only because I don't trust you anymore. It's only because I can't look you in your eyes and just genuinely be okay with being in your presence, because I'm always going to see you as a snake. You're going to always be slithering around me. I'm never going to trust you. So that's why my philosophy is what it is when it comes down to forgiveness. Sometimes I can forgive you, but I'll never forget it. But then there's some people that I would never, ever forgive. Like, it's a done deal. It's over with. And people say it's a grudge, but it's not always a grudge, because once I'm done with these people, I'm never thinking about them again. You'll never hear me talk about them no more. The only time it ever comes up is if they doing some shit or whatever. It don't come up. I don't think about them. I don't go to sleep at night with them on my mind. I don't give a fuck about them. They're literally dead to me. And that's just what it is. Like, don't play with me. Like, if I ain't never gave you no reason to do nothing to me, or never gave you no reason to stab me in my back, never gave you the reason to go the extra mile to make me feel some type of way or make me look some type of way because you mad at me, or because of the fact that, you know, I never did nothing to you to make you feel like you gotta compete with me or do little shicey things behind my back and think I'm never gonna find out about it. I don't want to be cool with nobody that I gotta constantly look over my shoulder or I gotta constantly question. That's too much. That's too much energy, and I don't want to give that. So when it comes down to Kandi and Phaedra, they can have a conversation all day, but there would be not. There would never be a resolve with that. Ever be a resolve with that. And if they did have the conversation at the end of the day, y'all would not be satisfied because she's not gonna forgive Phaedra. They would never be friends again, and y'all still would not be happy with that. And then y'all gonna say, it's draining. It's draining. She needs to get over it. No, no, I would never get over it, ever. If I was her, I would never get over it, honestly.
She didn't have to be a regular on the show. They should have sat down.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
It would have been the highest rated season, and it may have been even nominated.
Well, they control those nominations. So I don't know about all of that. Do you think it's time to have a gay couple on the Real Housewives franchise?
Yeah, listen, I'm all about making sure the shows represent where we are in the world. And I like the fact that we get to showcase different couples for sure. Yeah. Who is your, if you were able to cast the Sweet 16, who would be on your list?
First of all, I don't even know the girls that are on the show over there. I would not say myself. I would say Portia for sure. I think Portia is quite entertaining. I think you have to have Kandi because she's been there for so long and people feel like, you know, for whatever reason, Kandi needs to be there. And that way Kandi can get rid and she needs to be there. Marlo is good there. I think Kenya will be there. I have had a few run-ins with Drew. Just he used to patronize my lounge a lot. So I have a, you know, I think she's good there. I think I like seeing Drew on the show. I don't have anyone else that I would say at the moment. I can't say Phaedra and I can't say Sheree. Okay. I don't mind Kim if she's coming to go to work.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, because a lot of times she doesn't come to work. So that would be an issue there. Okay. I also think they need to find somebody new. There's so many fabulous girls in Atlanta, Georgia, who has personalities. They have great husbands. And I think they need some new blood on the show as well. I think all of the friends that are currently on the show, I don't know what they're doing. Just the thought of Manetta. And I think there's a girl's a housewife. What's her name? She run track. Sonia. I didn't know. I've met her before. She seems very nice. I just don't feel like she's a housewife. She don't give me that housewife feeling. I think her and Manetta, they can say goodbye. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they are it for the show.
Well, that's that.
Let me see, because I had something else for you, honey.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think you said it earlier. I don't know that even when Cameron was rolling, would you have a baby?
I do. I want a boy and a girl, and I got their names picked out.
Their name is Cash and Money. But you know, these girls will get mad about Cash.
Okay, they get Cash and K, bitch.
Yes, yes.
No, I would love to have. Listen, I would love to leave everything I built to some of my kids. Yeah. I would love to see a little sassy girl read these girls for Philip and say, my dad is Carlos King, bitch. And what I say,
I know you would tell her, honey.
Yes.
She'll be walking around here snapping and popping, honey.
Exactly. Wearing Lululemon.
Lululemon. I'm working out, honey.
Yes,
I live, honey.
She's going to work the girls and work.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you should be doing in-person interviews.
Okay,
I don't think that you should do them on Zoom. You know, I just don't think it looks cute with your sneakers in the background. I think you should have some nice background like this, and the guest should always be sitting with you. You make enough money where you can fly them in and coach, rather. And they can upgrade their own ticket. And I think you should do in person. I think it's just so much more fun. And I think you'll get so much more out of it. Okay. And I feel like the viewers would really enjoy it. I also agree with everything that you said about me because it's all true. Sure, I should be doing so much more.
And you will. And
I'm okay with it, though. I think God has a plan for me.
He does.
And he
never misses.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm very good right now.
Feed into him.
Yes.
And he will give you Psalm 37:4, delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
I think I'm going to be just fine.
You know, I know you are going to be. Would you do Love and Marriage Atlanta?
I'm not in a marriage. And I don't even have a current love. I guess my eyes are loving on some people, but I'm not currently in love with anybody. Okay. I'm not in a relationship. But if they want a single girl on the show to flirt with their husbands, sure. Because every show has a single person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't mind being this. This will be the first time in my life I've ever done anything where I'm like the single person.
Okay.
So you never know. By the time Love and Marriage Atlanta hits Atlanta, maybe I'll be available. Or maybe I'll be in a relationship.
Okay.
You never know. So are you planning to do that?
Only if I'm able to get you.
Well, you can only have stars around me. I don't know if those tired girls that you go and drag up from some other old show and you're sitting them over here. I I do not want that. So, think about that. I have some great ideas. You have to have good girls.
No, and I have a great idea. You and I should go on tour together.
I love to go on tour. What are we going to be talking about?
Anything. I wanna do a tour with you.
Well, let's go.
Where we're gonna sit to city and just talk.
Oh, people would love to come.
Yes.
People would love to come. The girls and the gays, honey, out for a conversation.
There we go.
And the people will be sitting. Look at Red. He'll be standing right
Red
there.
His thighs.
Yes. Come on, big thighs.
Big thighs, big.
Okay. Look at Red. Red said, this is not it. He said, Red said, I don't want to imagine you talking about my damn thighs. But let me tell you, this has been really great. I've enjoyed it. I'm happy that I came at a time when I was ready. Well, first, let me go back for a second before I say that. I noticed that you had the Real Housewives, the OGs, and I wasn't a part of that. Was that the time that you called me?
Yes.
And I said I wasn't ready?
Yes, it was.
Oh, but you didn't tell me that it was going to be.
You never know. So just to go back to that, each girl did not know it was going to be a reunion.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was surprised.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's why I said no. Had I known it was going to be a whole group,
that makes sense.
Okay. Well, listen.
But I'm glad those girls went on. I'm glad to have the seat by myself. I don't want to share the air.
Well, I think when you and I go on tour, we will invite Nene. When you and I go on tour, we'll invite Kim, Sheree, Lisa, and Deshaun to sit on the stage with us.
I'm actually in a really good place right now.
I can tell.
I think this is the place. I don't know if you're looking, sir, but this is the place.
Well, Nene,
this is the place to be in.
Can't thank you enough. I love you. You're my sis forever.
You're my.
This is it. So, I will say that regardless of the delusion and the inconsistencies and the brown nosing, I will say that this was a good interview. It wasn't no bad interview. Regardless of the imperfections, it wasn't a bad interview. I can give it that. It really wasn't a bad interview. Like, I go back and I listen to it. You feel what I'm saying? But I just wish, let me say that Nene is a big star in the reality world. When you think about reality TV and you think about women in reality, Nene is a big name. Nene should be able to do a podcast or a talk show or something like that. She should. Like, I've always felt like she should. She should, double down on her quotes and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that Nene should and could be doing. But the problem with Nene is that she does not know when to just shut the fuck up. That is her biggest issue. She could be a producer for a reality show. She could produce. She does seem to know what a show needs. It's a lot of her points that I can't agree with. It's a lot of points. She makes good points a lot of the times, but she's not consistent. And that's what kills her points. That's what kills what she says. You feel what I'm saying? So Nene has the potential to do a lot more than what she's doing. She just needs to learn that some shit just ain't got to be said. You feel what I'm saying? Some shit just ain't got to be said. Some shit you just let roll off your shoulder. Because I could definitely see Nene, thank you for the super chat. I definitely could see Nene producing a reality show with a bunch of women. I could see her putting together a show, a good cast. I could see her doing it. She should go into the producer lane. I really feel like that. She could do a podcast. She could do all that. Like, Nene could do whatever she wants if she set her mind to it. But I just feel like she doesn't realize that sometimes she gets in her own way. And a lot of the times, a lot of us could be in better positions if we just didn't get in our own way, if we didn't block our own blessings. That's really what it boils down to. You feel what I'm saying? So that's exactly how I feel. But this wasn't a bad interview. And it was a good interview. It was. And I enjoyed recapping it with you guys and all that good stuff. Okay. Somebody was in the chat and they asked me, would I ever do a panel with non-YouTubers? I kind of did that when I brought my childhood friends on for the roast of Scotty. And they all came on here and spilled all my tea. I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but we did it over the 4th of July last year. Like, we did the roast of Scotty and stuff like that last year. And we intend on they want to do it again when I hit 50K. So you might get that again. And some of my homeboys from back home, they want to do a panel. Some of my straight friends want to do a panel one night and stuff and have a conversation. So, I've been doing that. I've been talking about, doing little stuff here and there and all that. So my mind is always running and I'm always thinking of little things to do and, all that stuff, like more stuff. I have an innovative mind, so I'm always thinking about different ideas. I always got different ideas running through my mind. I always do. I always think of a different thing to do. Would I interview Nene? Absolutely, I would. I'm never opposed to interviewing nobody. So with that being stated, we're about to go on and get up out of here because I got to run up to Walmart for somebody. and and I gotta hurry up and do that before roast review starts. So I gotta go. But before I go, I want to let you guys know that I have a new segment called One-on-One. I will be interviewing 10 iconic YouTubers, some of your favorites. So excited, some of your favorites. I would definitely be doing that. I should start doing that in August. No, it is August, and probably in September, because most of the people that agreed to do this with me, they won't be able to do it until September. So I'm probably going to be doing it. And most of the people that was on my list, they all agree. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And the very first interview that I'm going to do with the YouTube is a big ass YouTuber. And everybody knows this person is my favorite person on YouTube right now. One of my favorite content creators, favorite YouTubers, all that stuff. Y'all know that I love me some him. Y'all already know, and I ain't telling y'all who it is. I'm pretty sure y'all going to be in the comments suggesting who y'all think it is. But I ain't telling y'all shit. You'll figure it out. When I come back from my trip, because I'm going back out of town next week, because I'm going to Detroit, I'm going to ATL, and I'm going to Houston. I'm going to start reaching out to people for Who Was Wrong 3. I have some people in mind for that. I already got a list. I ain't reached out to them yet, and I intend on doing so. And that's about it. So I'm about to go. I know Rodney the Voice is about to go live. If he's not live already, he's about to go live to talk about this same thing. So I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. And as we leave, y'all will see promos for 2 up-and-coming panels, Boys Night Out and the Chasing panel. So thank you guys for tuning in. We almost had 500 people in the chat. So thank y'all. Thank you guys for all the support. I love the Scotty gang. I'll be working on more videos later tonight, but they'll be coming out tomorrow. And I will be recording a reading for you guys for the book. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, your boy's up out of here, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can receive reminders whenever a video drops. And if you guys want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. And also, roast review is tonight at 7 Central, maybe 8 Eastern. Yes, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So make sure you guys tune into that. So with that being said, you guys, I'm out of here, and I'm going to leave you guys with 2 promos. See you later.